Hola, paisas. Today I'm going to be talking about God of War 4. And I want to mention this is a theory, lore, slash whatever the hell you want to call it. But I'm just going to go ahead and call it lore. I'm going to pull a Matt Pat and say I know exactly what I'm talking about. Although, I gotta say, sometimes he puts some really convincing research, right? Well, I'm talking about the snow specifically. Why does it snow after you beat the game? Now, you've probably read up or heard or just anything on Ragnarok, right? You've probably even heard about it from Marvel's Ragnarok. But this is God of War, baby, so let me put on my announcer voice just for you. And paisas, today I just want to tell you, first of all, I got the inspiration for this video because I recently went back to play God of War 4. I decided to fire up my 2 year old PS4. Dormant, by the way. That's why I say 2 year old. It was dormant for 2 years. Can you believe that I haven't touched it before that? Like since the last time I played God of War, basically. Anyways, back to the video. I played on God of War mode, give me a god, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I guess I think it is give me a god difficulty. Uh, I've seen every theory video possible and everything, but I've never seen one talking about the snow, which is a big part in your face, right? And the snow is talked about in Norse mythology. So I'm like, hey, this has got to be the easiest one. Everybody talks about the horn being blown. What does this statue mean? What does this painting mean? And those are really important factors. But Cory Barlog made it apparent that he was leaving hints for future games and way future games. But I don't think he was referring to things, such big spoilers like that would be answered in the next game. Obviously, what would be the whole point if all your things lead to the next game, right? So I have a couple. Other ones are theories, but I'm going to go ahead and call this lore. So, back to the snow. So, they start off the eternal winter at the end, right? You go back home, you see Thor and all that, and it's been a couple winters already. So, what starts the snow? Well, what do you do right before that? And this is, I guess, the theory part where it starts. A little Nordic mythos first. Balder is represented as light, airy, calm, thoughtful, and emphasized with all living things. Right? Keyword light. Sun, summer. In the game, he is the opposite, though, right? So, what am I telling you? Something someone else already has, probably. Telling you something someone else already has isn't my intention. So, let me go ahead and tell you about his brother Hod. In Mythos, Hod is the opposite of Balder. While Balder is all cheerful, light, and such, Hod is a blind person, or god, tremendously strong, right? We have a lot of strong people in Norse mythology. And reserved. He's quiet, but he loves his brother Balder and his mother, right? So he'll protect them, but he is reserved basically with the rest of the world. He took on the characteristic of being known as the god of winter. And you think it's a bad thing because everybody hates winter, And especially in those times where it was about hunting your food and being cold, staying warm. Even the gods, suffer with that. Remember, even in the games, it's pointed out that gods, even Thor, cannot handle the heat or the cold from hell, right? And they can't handle the everlasting winter. Uh, so Hod wasn't really taken back by this. He actually liked it, because winter is strong, it's silent, and it's dark. How he is blind, right? So for him, it actually was a good pair that they named them the King of the Winter. So you probably piece two and two together, right? I think in the game, Hod is probably going to be quiet, reserved, and such and such. It just fits so well to keep him the same way as mythology. So here's where the fun part begins. What sets off the eternal winter? Well, my theory is when you kill Balder, right? In the game, we kind of see Loki, right? Artreus. We kind of see him be the cause of sunshine and nature turning decrepit and dead coming back to life more than they should be. So we kind of see Loki when he gets sick, he's the one who causes things. So I think there's going to be some form of change there. So it could be that they added some of Baldur's traits to Loki. But if they didn't, I think what's going on is that Baldur is still representing of light and such and summer, probably just summer, right? Because they took off his good features. So by killing Baldur, you actually leave Hod in charge. So what happens when you kill Hod, when you kill Winter? Does times and seasons freeze? Does Ragnarok come out? And in Mythos, both Baldur and Hod go to hell and they come back during Ragnarok. So we're going to be seeing Baldur again and Hod too, which is going to be pretty dang exciting. But I also hope they had Hod, because see, nobody knew who Baldur was. Everybody's like, that's Thor, that's Loki, because they knew after he said, oh, my brother, they're like, oh, it must be Loki or something. Nobody guessed it was Baldur, because nobody knows Norse mythology until after this and probably Marvel, right? So it would be perfect if they had Hod as the next god. I think Thor's going to be our main god, but I think they should save him for the third game, So I think you'll encounter him, but probably won't beat him. But I think Hod, considering that he's going to have a grudge against us, and Freya, are going to be our main enemies. Although it's alluded that Freya isn't Fae, right? It's Fae and Freya. So it's kind of like, what's going on there? But that's something else. And I have another theory about where we might enter new areas in the next game. I think I found it. But anyways, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe, please. I'm sorry this felt boring. It just, after I started talking, it felt like I need to get this out in less of a super hype mood and just get it out in a serious tone. But anyways, if you'd like to hear my radio voice in the future and maybe do a video again, let me know.